So in this video, let's learn how to do ALB redirection such that we only restrict our load balancer or our services to be accessible over HTTPS 443. So let's assume that you've configured your load balancer on both port 80 HTTP and port 443 HTTPS. Okay, that tells that your load balancer is accessible via the two ports, and anyone or a user can either use this or this to access your backend. What if you don't want insecure access to your backends? Well, you do what's called HTTP redirection to HTTPS. So load balancer supports that feature, and we're going to see it because let's assume we don't want to only configure our load balancer on HTTPS, because there are some users who normally try to use HTTP. So whenever they try to use HTTP, the load balancer will be intelligent enough to redirect them to the correct protocol. Okay, all right, so let's learn how to do that. It's pretty much simple. We just need to create a target group with our two targets. We need to create a load balancer with the two listeners on port 80 and port 443. And if you have a certificate or custom domain on Route 23, you can use. But if you don't have, we are going to see how to do that. Okay. All right. So without further ado, let's do that. I'll go to AWS Management Console, and I'd like to let you know that I have two servers here. Okay. So I'm going to add a target group and register those two servers. Okay. I'm running Apache web servers on port 80. Okay. So no, I'm just going to create target groups. Create target group. Okay. And then type instances, and then target group name. Let's just say ALB test. Okay. Then protocol and port, whatever is running on the backend. I'm running Apache HTTP port 80. Okay, that's okay by default. IP address is IPv4. Then it used VPC. I'm going to use the first VPC, which is where my instances have been deployed in. Okay, protocol version, let's maintain it at HTTP 1. Okay, and Ajax, just HTTP. My backend is running on HTTP port 80. Okay, that's okay. Then go next and register these two instances. Click include as pending below until you see them here down, and create target group. Okay, all right. So we've created the target group here in the diagram. So let's go and create the load balancer. So it's pretty much simple. Just go and create the load balancer. Choose application load balancer and just say ALB3. Okay, it's internet facing because we want to access our resources over the internet. Okay, IP, IPv4, network mapping, VPC. Choose the correct one that you'll use to deploy your resources. Then ensure your load balancer is registered in at least 2 subnets for fault tolerance and high availability. Okay, all right. Okay, then cancel that and choose the correct one. I'm going to use my public SG. If you've not created, ensure you create. Okay, then in this regard, I'm going to deploy my load balancer into different listeners, using 2 different listeners on port 80 and port 443. Both of them will point to the same target group. Okay, all right. So you see, HTTP points to the same target group, and we add another listener, which is HTTPS 443, and still point to the same target group. Okay, all right. So you can see HTTP port 80, same target group. HTTPS port 443, same target group. Okay, all right. So we just scroll down and include the certificate. Remember, you cannot deploy an HTTPS listener if you do not have ACM certificate or just a certificate in your AWS account. Okay, ensure you have before you deploy HTTPS listener. Okay, and just create. Perfect. So we'll have to wait until the load balancer has been deployed so that we test and implement the redirection part. So currently you can see we have two listeners, port 80, port 443. Both of them goes to the same target group. Okay, you can see target group 1. Okay, right, where the two servers are. Okay, right. So let's just wait 3 minutes. Perfect. So the load balancer has been deployed here. You can see the status is active. Okay. Right. So you can either test using this one. Okay. Right. So you can either test HTTP that one on port 80. Okay. Or test that's one, or test HTTPS 443 as well. Okay, perfect. So you can see all of them are working. Okay, so we have two servers backend, so the load balancer should be able to distribute traffic to the two servers equally. Okay, that's why when you see when I hit several times, it traffic gets to different servers. Okay, all right. So let's click troubleshooting 3 here very fast and point it to the load balancer. Okay, and finally we could go and implement the redirection. Okay, click alias ls2 application load balance. Okay, and US East 1 is my region and my load balance is ALB3 and create it. Okay, so currently you can see we are able to access our load balancer over HTTP. This one should be, I want HTTP, okay, over HTTP, okay, yeah. So we can access it over HTTP, perfect, and HTTPS. So I want a scenario whereby we only restrict access to our load balancer over HTTPS, okay, all right. We want to enable redirection at the load balancer level, such that whenever someone tries to access our application over HTTP port 80, we take them to HTTPS. So how do we do that? Pretty much simple. Just click on the HTTP port 80 listener here on the checkbox here and go to manage listener and edit listener. And yes, so you see default action. So this is where we execute the redirection. Redirect to URL. Okay. Then where are we gonna direct it? We want to direct it to HTTPS 443 listener. So just include 443 listeners. Okay, perfect. And status code is 301. Okay, and save changes. Perfect. All right. So let's go back to our load balancer and refresh there. So you see, if someone tries to read the load balancer on HTTP port 80, it will be directed to HTTPS 443 listener, which is this one. Let's see that in practice. So I'll just copy this one and open a new tab, a new incognito tab, and paste that one, and let's inspect. Right click and inspect so that we see whatever I'm saying is happening in real sense. Okay, after you've actually inspect, go to network tab. Okay, all right, perfect. So guys, you can see, let's click on the first one. Just click there. Yeah, perfect. So you can see the request URL came with HTTP, that one. Okay, then it got a redirection 301 permanently moved permanently. Okay, then scroll down to response headers. This is where our concern is. You can see the new location is HTTPS now on port 443 from HTTP port 80 to HTTPS port 443. That's what we configured at the load balancer level. And as well, we can take the domain name here here where it is, the domain name here, okay? And go to incognito tab and HTTP, that one on port 80, okay? And then inspect and go to network tab and try to hit enter. Okay, so this is not happening the way I would like it to occur. So let's just use curl, okay? So I'm just going to log into one of the instances so that we can demonstrate this, okay? Connect to this and connect to this instance. Let's use curl tool. Curl will tell us whether there was a redirection or not. Perfect. So maybe the redirection is occurring at the router 3 level, okay? All right, so curl -v, then paste the DNS of HTTP, then I'm gonna paste that domain name on port 80, and yeah, so let's see. Perfect. So this is what actually I was expecting. You can see we try to connect over HTTP port 80, and we received 301 move permanently. And where were we taken to? HTTPS, okay, the new location. So we are from HTTP port 80, and the new location is HTTPS port 443. So this tells that the redirection at the load balancer level is perfectly working as expected, okay? All right. Thank you so much, guys. I believe you've learned how to do direction from port 80 to port 443 at the load balancer level. Please subscribe to this channel, like the video, and share with a friend. Bye-bye.